Aloha and welcome to Evening Discoveries by this guy by candlelight. So, the last couple days, it's been raining outside. It's been whatever. Not that much. I've been talking about it a lot, thinking about it a lot. I'm also in my I'm also going into my fourth week of grad school for psychology. And the work isn't really challenging at this point. One thing I notice though, I'm making up excuses not to go out. Like, sure, my whatever hurts. My groin is still healing, so I can't really do that much yoga. And I went rock climbing last night, but I haven't been fixing my surfboard, so I can go surf. And I've noticed this increased tension. Last week I drank caffeine, and yesterday I told you guys I had some like shitty frozen pizza, or that was on Sunday, and then I had another frozen pizza yesterday, even though it was like not such of a bad one, but still. And I was trying to do this juice fast, and then the juice fast was like putting me in extra tension mode, and it's been 2 months since I got out of the hospital, and it would seem like every 2 or 3 months I would have this relapse. And what was happening, I would feel like I was being too serious and I was denying myself fun things or dopamine things. Like, even this last Friday night, it was like, oh, I don't necessarily want to go to game night. And they said I went to game night and had a lot of fun. And then Saturday, I wasn't gonna, I was, wasn't gonna go out, even though the girl invited me out because I was like, oh, I don't deserve to go out. Um, but I did deserve it, for myself to go out. Hmm. And now I'm thinking about the girl and wondering if she has like a similar attitude, with her daughter. It's like, well, I want to go out and have some fun for me, but if I do, then I'm guilty of having fun. I'm going to come back to that and ask her about that. But for me, so today, it, the day sort of got all right. Slept in a little bit longer, and I've noticed I've been sleeping in longer. That's like my body, I think, kind of reacting to the pressure that I'm putting on it to stay inside. It's like, well, we're gonna stay inside. We're gonna sleep. If you're gonna force me to sit in front of this computer all the time, you know what? I'm gonna take a whatever. So my body is reacting against the sort of like mental discipline, almost punishment. So it feels like almost a punishment. And that's a keyword that I'm going to write down for tomorrow. Hold on. It's a fountain pen and I'm writing with the wrong hand. Feels like my discipline is punishment. And body reacts slash, what is that called? Self-sabotage. So at the core of this belief is like, I have to be a good son, I have to be a good grandson, I have to be a I have to sit there, be quiet. I have to be a good consumer, which is the meta arc of the meta belief from my society from growing up. I have to stay in this social structure, go to work 9 to 5, have the good job, and get money. And then there's a reaction against that, which is, fuck, I don't want that lifestyle. I want the freedom. But what does that freedom entail? That freedom entails me being strict with myself when I have to work between these certain times. So then I become the taskmaster and with myself, and I can be even a harder taskmaster than the outside world could be a harder taskmaster. And so I'm sitting here and I'm being miserable. Did I go to the place today? I don't think I went to the place today. I woke up late, did my journaling, had singing lessons. That was great. Then had a talk with my therapist, um, and then just like more and more tension was building up, and I was gonna go to the hardware store to get something to build my screens with, but then I was like, no, I don't feel like driving. I don't feel like getting out. I'm not in like a stable mood to get out right now. And fuck. And so I ordered a Domino's pizza. Shitty pizza. I didn't want the fucking shitty pizza with the chicken wings. I didn't want the fucking chicken wings, but it was the fucking chicken wings. And it was terrible. And I'm like, why am I doing this pattern again? And I'm starting to see this pattern. I'm like, okay, now we're to Domino's. And then like, a couple of days later, now I'm doing drugs, and now I'm fatter and more miserable again. And I went and got some soda from 7-Eleven. Yesterday I decided not to go to 7-Eleven. Like 2 days ago, I was like, fuck, 7-Eleven is a shitty, shitty place. Like, why am I going to 7-Eleven? Such a low energy. But what was happening is, because I was denying myself so much joy and so much pleasure and so much fun and so much laughter, that tension and that stress was building up. And so there's this cognitive dissonance. And the dissonance is because my belief, my core inner belief, is that I am not worthy of having fun, and or that, not necessarily that I'm not worthy of having fun, because I don't believe that. That's not the worry. That's not the belief. The belief is that I have to be good, and I have to stay in, and I have to do the work, because why? Because I'll end up homeless, because I'll end up poor, because I won't live up to somebody's standards. Well, whose standards are those? Are my mother's standards? Are my father's standards? My grandparents' standards? Maybe my grandmother and my mother's standards. So if I don't stay in and if I'm not good, then I won't live up to those standards. And then that tension builds up, and I've internalized that to the point the tension builds up, and then I crack, and then I break. And then I have a manic episode that, like, part of me finally busts. Let me write this down. Have to live up to a standard. Whose? So now, at least, that I have defined that underlying belief, I have targeted it, I can replace that belief with, I am worthy no matter what. And what I do is just fine. Because if I go the other way, then not only do I not, when I pressure myself too much, not only do I not meet the standard and I self-sabotage, but I also have shame and guilt and regret for going the other way because I didn't meet that standard. So that underlying belief of I have to do this thing to live up to this standard, and I have to be the good consumer has to change. That's powerful. And I am worthy of change, and I am worthy of surfing, and I am worthy of running, and I am worthy of going outside and hiking because I love those things. I am worthy of stepping away from my work. I don't need to be here all the time. I don't need to be pressured to do this. It should be fun. And I'm making it not fun because I don't think that work deep down inside can be fun, and I don't think that studying can be fun, but it can be fun. Studying can be fun, work can be fun, my career can be fun, my life can be fun. I can hold those two things at the same time. And I have discovered finally the crux of my self-sabotaging behavior. That's huge. So, oh, darn. Missed catching it on my birthday. So we'll try to collect it on 12/12. And love you and aloha and